All right, so I'm here with our equipment manager, Chris Snyder. He's got a mess going on over here. Chris, you want to explain what we're doing?
Well, we're installing new reels into our cutting units.
This is specifically our greens mower, correct? Or is this the T-mower?
This is the T-mower here.
Same thing.
It's going to end up being the same thing with the exception of the bed knives on them.
So a question would be, one, when's the last time these have been replaced approximately? And then why are we replacing that?
Well, these units were purchased used, so I have no history as far as how long these particular units have been on here. But a round figure, you could probably get 5 years out of a reel, depending on use. So this is the first time that we've had to replace the reels and the bearings in these units.
So I guess kind of the main reason why we got to replace these is, well, quality of cut issue. And as this metal gets worn down, I mean, it just gets harder and harder to keep a good quality of cut and keep the height you want to get.
The height you want to get, and then you run out of adjustment and you can't adjust anymore. But mostly because of quality of cut. We really once we get down, I don't have all the specs right in front of me, but once you start losing the meat on this guy right here, your angles, your quality of cut, everything just starts slowly degrading.
I did want to kind of show, it's kind of hard to tell, like we're getting really close to that weld. So this is actually what we call a reel helix. It's got 11 blades on it. But, you know, over the course of the year, I mean, this metal wears from just mowing grass, keeping it ground, keeping it everything squared. That metal's going to wear out. Here's a new one. I mean, kind of just looking at it, doesn't look like we've worn too much down. But unlike a rotary mower where it's just, you know, 1 or 2 blades cutting all the time, you know, you got 11 separate blades that are cutting any given second. So you actually evenly wear that metal down over the course of the entire helix. But what we measured, the circumference of all this, the brand new one was what, 16¼ inches?
That was a rough measurement. I don't have a pie tape. So this one was
16, I'm sorry, the whole circumference.
And this one was right at 15.
So we lost about 1¼ inch off the circumference in total. So I mean, that's a lot of metal over time. And really that makes it hard, one, to keep grinding it, keeping it square, but they say quality of cut. I don't even want to grab that bed knife. Kind of show how it's like that bed knife. Can't get it to focus. Sits kind of down at an angle like that, correct?
Correct. That's a bit extreme, but yeah.
Well, maybe not that much. And then that reel sits on top of it. Well, that reel comes down.
Cuts like scissors.
Cuts like scissors. This glides across the ground, lifts up the turf, and the turf gets in between this metal bar here and all those blades, and that's the cutting point. Well, as that reel gets worn down, the higher and higher and the flatter this gets. And if you're trying to cut grass like this, you're not going to cut it. You're going to lay it over. You have to have an aggressive attitude, as it's called, angled like this down so it can actually lift the turf and get a good quality cut. So as that reel helix wears, the higher this tends to get, worse quality of cut. Not only that, but makes it hard to adjust your heights too.
Yes.
It's not only quality cut, but your heights.
Yep.
And what we ran into this issue this summer during member guest. So say we will have one set of these, well, a set of 3 for each mower, but one set of these set for T height, and then the other set for green height. Well, typically we transfer or transition our T mower over to greens height. So we have 2 greens mowers for our member guest. Well, we had the issue where we couldn't get our T mower down to greens height.
Yeah, couldn't get there.
And that was what we think mainly because these were so worn
they're wore out, and which changes the whole angle of your bed knife. So it makes it a lot harder to actually get down to a closer cut.
So what else are you kind of doing since you have to take these apart? What's kind of the, I guess, maintenance you'd go about? And I saw you were taking kind of everything apart, cleaning stuff, getting stuff greased.
Taking everything apart, pulling these adjusters apart, getting any kind of corrosion out of them, so it makes it easier for adjustments. Any of the surfaces that made up, so this would go up against here, make sure these are clean, and we get our sides attached properly and there's no corrosion in there causing any issues. Bearing surfaces, cleaning all those out, getting any kind of corrosion out of those. Anywhere there's corrosion, and there's a mating surface, a bearing, try to get it as clean as possible.
Will you grease, like, so where this metal meets this metal, will you put some grease on there?
No,
You won't?
I won't put anything on there.
But any kind of moving part like these?
If it's got a moving part, it'll be taken apart, cleaned up, greased. I will apply, these are all sealed ball bearings, so there's no preload adjustment, but I will add some lubricant in here just for the fact of installing, and then kind of help reduce any kind of condensation that might build up in there and create even more corrosion.
So the old style, you have to, these were all greasable bearings. Now this newer style, you don't have to mess with it at all.
Yep.
Which makes maintenance so much easier.
Yep. They're stainless steel ball bearings, so.
Now, some of the other parts though, so like you got a bed bar over there, it's gonna have to get remounted to here.
Yep.
Now some of those screws, will you use something like a Loctite or anything like that?
No.
Nope.
NICs or data grease.
Sorry, not Loctite, anti-seize, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I've heard of guys, I think, using Loctite on those.
Yeah, I would never do that.
You got any kind of special anti-seize you use, copper infused?
I
or?
use a little bit of cotton. It just all depends. I really don't have a preferred NICs, just as long as I've got one. Usually it's copper, but any kind of NICs is better than none.
Because, yeah, last thing we want is these things getting to where you can't take it apart.
Right.
Also, that'll help, reduce the corrosion a little bit.
Right.
Keep moisture out, so.
And you've got a couple, you got aluminum on steel, which creates electrolysis, which helps speed up the corrosion process.
Interesting. Any other tidbits as you're going through this process? Because, you've got 6 of these to do.
Yeah, 6 of these units to do. They're really pretty simple. The main thing I try to focus in on is cleanliness. And I know it's no surgery room, but get as much of that corrosion off of there. Add lubricants where they're needed just to help prevent any more corrosion. And just get them as clean as I can, so they cut just like brand new units as soon as we get them all assembled and ground and adjusted.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's kind of hard to tell until you get to kind of the critical point in which you're not getting a good quality cut. Now, I like to think our grains were pretty good this past year, even our tea quality, but we might actually, what do you think, see a difference in our cut quality?
I think there'll be a difference there, yeah, for sure.
One little cleaner cut, little easier cut. Like we said with that bed knife, when it's not as aggressive of an angle, you're not cutting as clean, and it's kind of hard to really see that as well because we cut so tight, but probably a lot cleaner cut, hopefully some smoother greens, healthier greens. So, cool, thank you.